Guys, what are we going to make today in the shop? I want to tell you what I did. I had a crash show last weekend. I made these ghosts out of 2x4s. Nothing too fancy. You can see this on my YouTube channel if you look back. I got them $10 a piece and I sold these out before the show even started. So I thought, why not do a snowman for my next show in December? So I'm going to make these out of pallet wood, okay? And what I'm going to use for the bottom part, the main runner for the pallet, which goes this way. And then I have this part of the pallet, which goes this way. See, I already traced out some snowmen on it, but I'm going to show you how I did it on the other side. I did sand this down with 80 grit to get started, just to knock all the rough stuff off of it. Y'all know how to sand with 80 grit paper with an orbital sander, I'm sure. Alright, so let's get started on how we carve them out, or trace them out. Okay, before I cut them out, I'm going to do my two bases first. I'm going to cut them off on the radial arm saw. And the bases are 3 inches. So I'm just going to go 3 inches and 6 inches. I'm going to take them over to the radial arm and I'm going to cut both pieces off. Okay, now you can either trace these out by eye or use some tools, whatever you got, to trace them out. First thing I'm going to do is put my bottom on and draw the line. If you can see the line there, I hope you can. Then I'm going to take this Griffin Claw coaster, beer coaster. It's a little oblong, but that'll be good. It'll look good as a snowman. I'm going to put that right a little bit over the line, and then I'm going to trace it out. Just like that. Then I'm going to take this tennis ball top and I'm going to leave it hang over the line just a little bit like that. And I'm going to draw 4 circles. So it will look something like that, if you can see that. I hope you can. Then, caulk. This is going to be the head of the snowman. And I'm just going to trace that out. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to take it over to the saw and I'm going to cut it out kind of like that. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I get over there. I'm going to leave little radiuses in there. That way when I'm sanding, my sander will fit the curves real easy and I can get this done nice and quick. Okay, now that we're over at the scroll saw, you can see what I'm talking about with the little radius here. Okay, that my scroll saw blade will go around that a lot easier than trying to get into these little points here. So I'm going to start with that. You can watch me for maybe a little bit of it and then I'll shut it off and finish scrolling it out. Okay, that's half of it done. You can see how the radiuses, the blade went right around them. Worked really nice. I'm going to go ahead and do this side, and then we'll get back to sanding this all down. And you can see how fast this project actually goes. Alright, now that you got one done, like this, it's simple to do the next one. You just use that as a template. Just lay it on your piece of pallet wood, draw your circle out. Just that easy. Then I'm going to go back over to the scroll saw, which, let me tell you, I got my scroll saw from Harbor Freight. It was a cheaper model, and it works great for this hobby stuff. So, don't be afraid to go to Harbor Freight and buy some of your tools. There, it's all traced out. I'm going to go cut this one out, and I'll get back with you. Alright, now that I got 2 cut out, I'm going to take my sander, and I'm just going to go around the edges like this, all in here and everything. Round them all over a little bit, and show you what I got after that. Okay guys, you can see what I did here, alright? I just rounded all the edges over and everything, sanded both sides down. Looks good. Now I'm going to go ahead, do this one too, and then we'll get back to the next step. Okay, now for the base pieces. You can see this roughness on the edges where I cut. You can see it's pretty rough. So I'm going to take it on this belt sander, and I'm going to smooth them down, and I'm going to round these edges over a little bit. Alright, you can watch me do one, and then I'll do the other one without you guys watching me. Just like that, nice and smooth. Alright, there you go. You can see how I rounded them over. Alright, looks pretty nice. That's all it takes. I didn't do this backside. I didn't round these corners over because they're going to sit right up against the ghost, okay? I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, and then we'll get back. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this little countersunk hole in here for the tea lights to fit in. These tea lights, my wife gets online. They're 1.5 inches. They're white or black, and they fit right in there, okay? Now, what I do, I went out and purchased this Forstner bit. This is also 1.5 inches. Now when you bore down with this, if you go right to the bottom of it, these tea lights fit in there perfect. So let me show you how I do that on my drill press. Okay, when I'm using my drill press to do this, I put a backer board all the time on the back of my piece to help hold it in place. Now I'm just eyeing this up. I'm really not going to measure anything. So I want it right about the center of my board, right about there. And now what I'm going to do is clamp this down. Just like that. And just like that. And now I'm going to eye this up in the middle. It moves back and forth, okay? Just eye it up. There's nothing fussy here. It's just a snowman, remember? Okay, here we go. Ready? I'm going to bring this down till my counter bore is even with the piece of wood. That's all there is to it. We're going to do the next one and I'll be all set. Alright, this project's moving right along. So now I'm going to take some of my Type Bond 3 glue here. It doesn't have to be Type Bond 3, it can be any kind of glue. Just going to put a little bit right there on the bottom, not a whole lot. Just like that. And I have some 1.25 inch brads in my nail gun. I'm going to line that up at the bottom here, just like that. My nail gun, I'm going to put 3 1.25 inch brads in it. Now you can just clamp this if you want, let it dry. You don't have to worry about nailing it at all, okay? So here we go. Alright, next thing up, we're going to put some stain on it. No, we're going to burn it first. You know me, I always got to burn my projects. So stay tuned. Alright guys, burning your wood is not necessary. It's just something I like to do. It's called Soshibon, and I think it always turns out nice. I just use a regular propane torch, put it up on some bricks off the wood. Be careful not to burn your garage down. And don't get too close with it, about 4 inches away, and you'll start seeing the burn take place. Very light. And you don't have to do this, you can just spray paint these white. I use a transparent white stain for them, it looks good. There you get the burn effect. I think that looks cool. Okay, and then I'll go and I'll do the edges. Don't hold it on there too long or you'll catch it on fire. right? Just like that. And I also do the back in case they're going to put it on a mantle or something where you can see the back. You can also put small picture hangers on these and hang them from the walls. Okay, that's one done. There you go. Now I'm going to stain this with a transparent white stain next. Alright? Alright, let me burn the other one and we'll be back. Alright, here's the stain I'm using. There's not going to be no links or nothing because I don't know how to do that. So just look at this stain. Minwax, okay? Wood finish. It's transparent and it's pure white. Now I use this for my flags, so I have a whole quart because I use it up with my flags and everything. I use red, white, and blue too. All this is from Lowe's. And if you want a special color, they'll mix it and tint it for you. Alright, I'm going to get my foam brush and my gloves on and we're going to start staining. Alright, here we go. I also have a rag to wipe the stain off with. Let's get started. Brush that stick off a little bit. Now this goes on real heavy, guys, okay? Here we go. See how heavy it is. So I wipe it off pretty quick after I put it on. Sometimes if I don't think it's thick enough, I'll put another coat on it. You can see how that's covering. You can see through it. Now when I wipe it off, you'll be able to see through it a lot better. My gloves are from Harbor Freight. You can buy a whole box of them, like 50 in a box, and they're relatively cheap. So I'm going to put this stain on the whole thing just like this. Front, back, everything. Inside the candle holder hole. And then I'm going to start wiping it off with the cloth. Alright, stain's on. Time to start wiping it off, okay? So I take my towel, it's just an old towel my wife had, I cut it up, take it all the way around, brush that stuff off. You gotta do it kind of quick or it's heavy and it'll gob up on you. I try to go with the grain, that way the streaks of the stain go with the grain, okay? I'm going to continue wiping this one off, I'm going to stain the other one, I'm going to let them set up during dinner, then we'll come out and start drawing our face and putting some garnishing on them. That's what I call it, garnishing. This fancy stuff here. Look at the nose on that. Ain't that cool? Yeah, we're going to do that too. All right. Okay, next up, we're going to draw the snowman's face. You can see that one. I'm going to kind of draw the same thing on it. The only thing I don't draw is the nose because I'm going to drill a 1/4-inch hole and use a 1/4-inch dowel rod for the nose. I'm no artist, so I just started out by drawing 2 circles for the eyes. And I'm just using a little Sharpie pen. Now you can also draw little squares so it looks like charcoal. So you can see my eyes there, okay. And I'm going to put the smiley face on it. Maybe a grimace like that there. How's that? Okay. Now I'm going to drill a hole right in the middle, right about there, and that's where I'm going to put my 1/4-inch dowel rod. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my 1/4-inch dowel rod, okay, and I'm going to take it over on the belt sander, and I'm going to put a little point on it, like it's looks like a carrot, okay. I'm going to do one on each end, this end and this end. Then I'm going to take it on the bandsaw and cut it off. Alright, next I have acrylic orange paint. You can use any kind of orange paint you want. I just use the acrylic. I take it and I dip it right in there. just like that, and then I'm going to wipe it off. I'm going to wipe it off with a rag. Just like that. And I'm going to do the other end, same way. Dip her in. There you go. Wipe it off. And there you have it. Now I'm going to go over the bandsaw. I'm just going to cut it. You don't have to watch me do it, but I'm just going to cut it off. Leave it like 3/4 of an inch long. And that will be my nose. Okay, I think I mentioned that my dowel rod was 1/4 inch. It's actually 3/16. So now I've got my 3/16 drill right here. And I'm just going to, you can see where my nose is going to be right there. I'm just going to drill right through. Just like that. And that's where I'm going to put my dowel rod through, and that'll give us a nice little carrot nose. Alright, we got our nose right here, okay? We're going to stick it through the back side. It's a little bit tight, so I'm just going to tap that with a hammer until it gets flat. A nice good tap. Alright. Now that I got that in there, I'm going to take, now you can see this one, I'm going to take a hot glue gun. Not that I need to, but just to secure it a little bit more. Just spread a little bit around there and that'll hold that right in place. Just like that, okay? Next, we're going to be putting the garnishings on, as I call it. Okay. Okay, I got this ribbon from Michaels. Now, I'd like to get some red, too. I think I'm going to run out and get some red before I build any more snowmen. But I'm going to cut off about a 5-inch strip off of here. Then I'm going to wrap it around our little snowman's neck and give him a little scarf. Okay, here we go. Got the little scarf going on. I'm going to see if I can get it where you can see it. I'm going to take a little bit here, just like that. See where it's going to land, okay? Then I'm going to put a dab of hot glue. And I always burn my fingers, okay? Just push it down on the hot glue. Then where the next piece is going to meet, I'm going to put another dab of hot glue. And I'm going to bring it down. Ouch. That's hot. You could use a pencil eraser instead of your finger. Probably be the smarter thing to do. There we go. Alright. Next I'm going to draw some little buttons on here. But first I'm going to go ahead and put a scarf on this little fellow over here. Okay. Alright, I got this little feller done. Okay. I still got to put the candle in there. Now this one, I think I'm going to give him some red buttons. And I'm going to use the red Sharpie. Okay. We'll put a button right there. Right there. Right there. I guess that looks pretty good. I do like the black better, but hey, who am I? Alright. Let me go get some more candles and we'll see what we got. So now I think these look pretty good. Now, tell me what you think. Leave a comment if you will. I think they look cute. I think when I make some with red scarves and some littler ones and some bigger ones, $10 a piece they'll sell. Now, I sold these out on Halloween here, these little ghosts, okay? If you want to know how to make them, just look me up, subscribe. You'll find it on my YouTube channel somewhere, my Halloween stuff. Back to these. I think they look awesome, guys. That was a great, easy project, and it was fun. Check out those little noses. They look cool.